WTFU! No, I'm not telling you off. What I'm actually doing is I'm talking about a movement in social media that I really am excited about. This coming from you from Doug Walker's channel, aka Channel Awesome, known as a nostalgic critic, by the way. And so what this is, WTFU stands for Where's the Fair Use? Now, people like myself have been plagued with YouTube content matches, copyright strikes, crap like that. All right? I am not one of the larger channels. I will completely admit that. I do this for fun. I'm not sure that this will ever be my primary source of income. If it is, great. If it isn't, eh. So what happens with WTFU? Well, channels like us, we put out reviews. We put out reviews, walkthroughs, guides, stuff like that. And what happens is that the developers and other people will take and claim it and say, that's my content. And when they do that, it puts a lock on it that either dithers our ability to distribute that video, or completely removes the video, or if they really want to be shady, they collect the money from the video. So if I'm doing an in-depth walkthrough and say like Perfect Dark or something like that, or I've got a few cheat corners out there where I show you tips and tricks for some of the games. And when I find cheats, I'm sharing them with you to be instructional. I do hope that when you watch the ads, I get a little bit off of that. A little bit of compensation is nice. It helps pay for the equipment that I have. Thing is, though, is that when these content ID matches hit, it's one of two things happens. The first one is the copyright strike, and this is the most crippling. Because what happened to me is I actually got a copyright strike on a video I did. It was a news article. And it brought my channel to its knees. I couldn't appeal any content ID matches. So it means that somebody else is claiming something, they could control that video and I couldn't appeal it. But in addition to that, it meant I couldn't do videos longer than 15 minutes. I couldn't live stream. I couldn't export stuff from Twitch over, at least not very easily. And it really sucked. Really sucked. And so in order to appeal that, you actually have to start a legal process. And these copyright strikes last 6 months. And it's 6 months from the last strike that you have that your channel is crippled until either it's rescinded, all the strikes are rescinded, or alternative, or it just expires. Sucks. But part of that is you have to give your personal information out, which really sucks. Really sucks. So I had to actually give my personal information out to this person. They were legit, which was cool. You know, they were cool about it and whatnot. They wrote me. They weren't going to sue me or nothing. But what really sucked about it, though, is that it took time to actually get moving forward and to actually get my channel back up to where I could upload stuff again. Because some of my videos get long. Sometimes I've got a lot to say about a bad game. Shucks. But then again, though, when I say a lot about a bad game, sometimes games are so bad they're good, and people want to buy them or play them because of that. But then you get into the more insidious one. It's not the copyright strike, which takes the video down altogether, but it is the content match. And in a content match situation, it's basically saying, "That's my content." And so people do this a lot, and I see this. Oh my gosh, I get hit by people like AdRev for a third party who's always claiming stuff. When I contact the publishers who have already given me permission, they don't recognize AdRev for a third party, so you have them collecting content illegitimately and claiming, "Oh, we're just holding this until the owners say something." It's like, no, you're not. You are stealing. And I've made so many claims asking that they be sanctioned for this stuff. And the abuse of the system is horrible. Because the system is not only abused, it's horrible. And the thing is that, oh my gosh. So, what happens when a content match hits is whoever claims that content, right? So it's like this video here, right? This is me and my channel. Somebody wanted to be unscrupulous, they could upload it to their channel and claim it as theirs. And then they turn around and they say, "Oh, well, that's my that's mine. That's all mine there." You do this, you can get There are ways to actually get it overturned and eventually worked with in Google. But when you do this, basically what happens is they claim it and then they get control of the video. So they can choose where it can be distributed. They can collect all monetization from it. And they basically have more control over the video than the person who uploaded it, which sucks. Most of the time with these content ID matches, I'm able to dispute it and I usually get a turnaround where it's unblocked. However, I have had content where it's gone through the 30-day process, and they have 30 days, by the way, to claim it, to remove the content ID match or say, nope, it's still valid. And then if I dispute it again, they have another 30 days. And I've had to do that where it's taken me 60 days to get some of my reviews up, which sucks because it's 60 days before I can start making money on that review. Guilty until proven innocent, guys. It's not how America works, but it's how Google works here. So the whole content ID system, the whole copyright strike system is meant for Google to cover their butts, because Google owns YouTube, by the way. If you didn't know that, big surprise. But now let's go into what fair use is, because this is the real part of WTFU. Fair use is, the doctrine basically says, and if you look at copyright.gov and specifically focus on fair use, it talks all about how, hey, I'm a content creator. I can take and I can make a transformative work from something. So let's say I have upcoming a Lego Jurassic World video, Lego Jurassic World review. I can take clips from that game, show it to you, and I can make comments on it. And I can critique it, and so long as I'm not showing you the full game in its entirety, I can pretty much do that. And there's a balancing act. Okay, there is a balancing act, because if you 100% a game, it does really dither the meaning for a person to actually go out and purchase it. Unless it's a speedrun game. Then there's other reasons. All that to say, though, is that there is a balancing act, but fair use protects people like myself, so I can create reviews, I can create criticisms, I can do teaching, I can do transformative works, anything that actually transforms the original into something different. And that's what reviews are. Reviews are me giving you my critique on something so that you can benefit from it. And yes, I know, not everyone is going to like what I have to say about their games. But there's no such thing as bad press, guys. Even the games that I have hated on, my shovel of shame winners, even those ones, I find a lot of people say, yeah, that game was horrible, man. I had to go play it just because, and even shovel of shame winners, I've been contacted by people who've said that kind of stuff. And it's like, you know what? It's good. It's good because now you're aware the game exists. So it behooves a lot of these developers to just laissez-faire, just let it go. Let people do what they're doing in their corner when they're making their reviews, stuff like that. So I'm very much supporting this WTFU. I'm recommending you do. I'm going to put a link below, by the way, to the WTFU. And please, 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 please support this, because something needs to change around here. Again, I took for about a year, and I had a list of all my videos, whether they made monetization or not, and I found 70% of them were getting claimed by someone else. 70% of my videos got claimed by someone else, and it wasn't always the owner of the content. And fighting that sucks. So YouTube needs to change, and with your help, we can inflict that change. We can actually persuade YouTube to make the change so that we can have more control over our content. MoralGamer here saying, thanks as always. I appreciate you, my audience. And again, I really hope you'll support us on this one. We need the change. We need the change. And so will you if you ever decide to join us as content creators. Thanks for watching.